course, we have the Regional Police Commander Freetown East. He's no longer the president, but Mr. Edward Air Samadia, AIG. And then we have the Regional Police Commander Freetown West. He's no longer the president, but Commissioner Victor Murphy Williams. He's very meticulous. Oh, Air Edward Samadia. Air Edward Samadia. Yes, you know, that's the traditional name, you know, as for no people who always identify them by firstborn. Third born. Okay, third. From here we have the image maker is here today again. The SFP is known as the president, ACP Wyman Kamara. Yes, sir. People don't know this, sir. He's spokesperson, the official spokesperson of the SFP. And we also have the head of community relations, is known as the president, but chief superintendent of police. This is Madam Edna Siva. The only female. And of course, we have the CID representative from CID headquarters, Joshua Musa. I think that's the only why we decided to go into that name because it's very difficult to call. We have the media operation man, chief inspector. We have Simeon, and we have the intern with us, Mohammed Conte. At this junction now, I hand over the mic to the chairman for carry on with the rest of the
well, then we jump down introductions. Shall we pray? You guys have a prayer, please.
Yes, sorry.
That kind of prayer?
Yes, we end of prayer.
Oh, okay, operations plan is here. Chairman is here. Yes. Yeah.
Somebody is not the kind of person. No, that's all I mean.
So, you can move in here.
Yes. Let's go on.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, no, just carry on.
No,
Sit over there, sir.
no, do this thing.
I'll go ahead.
Good afternoon, colleagues.
Good afternoon.
My name is colleague here from this position. It covers both the police and you, the journalists. As I've always been telling you, we were the very first set of police officers when we wanted to be coming to the media that we are trained in journalism. Because what we realized that when we tend to withhold information from you people, you will guess. And when you guess, it's very terrible because what you put for the public to read is very disastrous. And so the British-born Inspector General decided that the best way out of this whole thing is actually to call the journalists, tell them what we have. If by way of investigation there are certain areas we cannot because it will disturb investigation, they say we can tell them that. So they can actually continue reporting what we have given you. And that was the beginning of what we have today. That's over 20 years. So I welcome you again to another round of press conference we are having today. We always get to members of the public through youth in terms of important matters that we are investigating, in respect of what actually we expect from them, those that they should do and those that they are not supposed to do. We always do that through you people, and we are very pleased that at the shortest possible notice, you always come. My business as chair, as always, is actually to bring together commanders on the side of the SLP who over the weeks they have been able they have embarked on important investigations, matters that we think the public should know. So we call you, and then I actually bring them, which they will be able to relate to you what they have been doing. And if you have questions at the conclusion of everything, but I must hasten to say that those questions should be tailored exactly to what we have presented to you. We will not present something and then you say something which has nothing to do with what we have presented to you. So I must appeal to you that we listen to them as they do their presentations, and then you take note. At the conclusion of the presentations, if you have questions, we are actually more than willing to answer these questions. So once more, I welcome you to this press conference. It is the one with difference because I'm holding one in my hand and the other one actually is held on my chest. So that is a different one. But as always, it's nice that we inform the public what we are doing. And we actually count on the public, I always say. That is why we have very much welcome the community placing, which is actually community engagement, collaboration, and cooperation. Because what happens in terms of crime actually happens in the communities, and those engaged in crime committing are actually in the communities, and so the community members are in better position to be able to inform the police, who always just operationalize what they tell us, so as to make it possible for their safety and security. So Media One, we can progress from here now. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. From what we have here, agenda for today, we are now moving on to updates. Let us hear from Divisional Police Commander Northeast.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for this all members from the Fourth Estate. A very good afternoon to you all. Freetown East, as you all know, remains quiet and calm. As at this time of reporting, nothing happens to report as of now, except for an incident which was your consumption. That is the incident of QNet. Well, on the 13th, Friday the 13th of January, PC Police Station responded to a distress call whereby irate youth stormed number 56 City Road, Wellington. It is alleged that there are huge number of people at the said house, number 56 City Road, Wellington. And this irate youth had wanted to storm and burn down that building. But with the intervention, the quick response of PC Police, they were pressed, and going further, they found over 200 persons, in that building. What were they doing there? It is reported that QNet, that is Quest for Internet, housed those persons there on illegal business. However, they were all taken to the DC police station and then interrogated. They were interrogated, and we realized that the members of the QNet, they received money from a good number of them, victims, in order to travel out of Sierra Leone. And those monies were falsely or by fraud taken from them, for which, they were there gathered at that particular premises. Well, initially the victims, this number who are victims, were brainwashed by QNet. They gang up with the QNet officials to fight against police. But going through our investigation, they realized that they have been fraud. Out of this number, 12 of them made reports against QNet officials, identified officials amongst them, while 221 of them were released. And we investigated the matter, and so far for now, 6 of them have been charged to court, while other files are with the Director of Public Prosecution for further investigation. The investigation continues, however. I think that is all I have for the area. Which across the region is quiet, and no problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We now move on to Freetown West.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and all protocols are aligned with. For Freetown West, the area is calm and quiet. Do we continue patrols? One of the latest I'll bring to you is the fatal road accident at Majitown, wherein a Volvo concrete mixer, vehicle registration number ATL 560, under the control of Abu Sami of Meshkem, lost control, skid off the tarmac, and crashed at a makeshift building. Within the process, fatally injured 2 young men whose identity are yet to be known. That caused a lot of traffic on Saturday, as all of us can recall. However, the vehicle was removed and the body taken to Connaught Hospital for post-mortem examination. Of course, that's the process. And I would also like to bring to you on the 18th of January, about 12:50 hours, the operations team led by a woman, the SP Lilian Kuruma, supported by Abdullahi Juri, all of Abadin Police Division, due to a tip-off they received they raided and arrested Isabi of number 5, San Samuel's Louis Road in possession of 53 grams of substance suspected to be kush and the sum of 146 new leons. Suspect is in custody, investigation ongoing, and the exhibit has been sent to the CID forensic lab for it to be analyzed, and they will be charged to court. We also received an incident on the same day at my Totin checkpoint. The officer commanding arrested a car with huge quantity of heads and cables in possession of one Suleiman Swari, a security guard of AK Security Agency at Bobo Village. That matter is under investigation. Also on the 15th, Alusai Massacre of Luke in Town, IMAT, reported on behalf of his 4 children, age 2 of them 12, 7, and 14 years. They were sexually penetrated by Shaka Kuruma of the same address. He is already in police custody, and the investigation is ongoing as they are awaiting the medical report from Gimbo Center. Also on the 14th, Aminata Amado Fofana of Kalon Drive, Godrich, in company with her 7-year-old daughter, reported that at around 7 p.m. at the above address, her daughter was sexually penetrated by one Mohammed Kamara of the same address. The matter is under investigation at Godrich. Suspect was arrested and in custody. They are awaiting the medical report as all statements have been obtained. I think so far the entire Africa West is calm and quiet. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, sir. Let me give some updates also from our end. One, on Wednesday, 1st January 2023, Amusu Kamara of Mabang Village, Makama, Chiefdom, Pushoko District, reported that on Tuesday, 3rd January 2023, at 1100 hours, at the above named village, one Ishmael Mansare, a native of Mabasi village, transformed himself into a baboon creature and assaulted her 1 year 9 month old child, Amidu Mansare, and in the process murdered said child and inflicted injuries on the mother, Mamusu. This matter is actively under investigation. The local unit commander of this division informed that over the weekend, some cows reared by some foolers in Yobeku chiefdom in the Bond district came to the nearby Sugeni chiefdom, and one was shot and killed with a shotgun by some inhabitants of Sugeni chiefdom. This made the Fulani to pursue the men. The police got information and we went to the scene, and they were able to arrest 2 young men in possession of the 2 shotguns. The matter is under investigation. There is another case of unlawful possession of free quality education textbooks. On Sunday, 22nd January 2023, about 1100 hours, a team of police officers attached at the Maya checkpoint, Cambia, intercepted vehicle with registration number RC7609C, driven by one Amsterdam Jallo with 420 Sierra Leone government free quality education textbooks They are as follows. English language for JSS 3, 206. Mathematics 52, integrated science 109, 13. And language arts for SS3 20. And then new civics for Sierra Leone 1. They were also found in possession of 8 teaching aid textbooks without lawful authority. This matter is actively under investigation. We are told the suspect claimed the books were given to him by one lady in honor and was taken same to the Republic of Guinea. So we still have the suspect as well as the exhibit. And on Sunday 14th January 2023, the SFP received 17 brand new vehicles, of which 7 of these vehicles were distributed to various police divisions and regions such as Gambia, Mongol, Bonf, Takoro, and Mortimer divisions. This one is to aid police operations. And of course, we've been hearing about transfers within the SFP. We want to make it very clear that in the SFP, transfers are routine, that's very normal. Nothing absolutely fishy, as the case may be. What we normally do, we send you somewhere to go and share some knowledge and experience. In other words, you export knowledge, you export experience. And equally so, your new posting, you go there and acquire experience as well. But it is very routine. And then on Sunday, 21st January 2023, the Mutarawali of Tefea in Konodi Street was allegedly found in possession of a local made pistol, shotgun, 3 air cartridges, and a small quantity substance suspected to be gold without lawful authority. He was apprehended at Makufi checkpoint, and the matter is under investigation. Thank you very much. So the next person to report is the head of Community Relations Department, Mrs. Edna C.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, senior colleagues, members of the 40 states. For community updates, sensitizations are still ongoing in the western area and in the provinces. We continue to monitor all divisions in their sensitization drive and community engagement strategies. We are getting positive feedbacks from the provinces or the regions, especially in the southern region, the east, northeast and northwest regions. Our strategies are now to engage our divisions in sensitization in concert with our local policing partnership board members and our CROs in the divisions. Because of some challenges, we now go to the divisions and we make use of their resources. We are also engaged in community disputes. One of the strategies of community policing is mediation and problem-solving mechanism. Presently, we are mediating a conflict. One Ilmuzi Mox at Hill Station, back of old school. There is a conflict between the Jamal and the Imam, and it is getting serious every day. But presently, it is at the desk of the National Security Coordination Office for further mediation. And so we are also, as community members, we are looking into that matter to be resolved Otherwise, it will graduate into something else. Otherwise, community sensitization and engagement continues nationwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Sylvia. Ryan, go ahead and report.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, the AIG, Mr. Prabhaja, Director of Operations, Regional Commander, Clinton West, Mr. Williams, Regional Commander, Clinton East, Mr. Edward Samadia, members of the Port Estates, and Head of Community Relations Department. I want to say good afternoon. I want to report on an incident that occurred at the Leone International Airport. On Friday, 20th January 2023, a combined team of police, ONS, and FIU arrested one Dieter Alfred Behim, the German national, at the Freetown Leone International Airport, alleging that the latter was found in possession of 82,000 leons, which is 82 millions in the old leons, quantity of Liberian currency in coins, alleging that he attempted to smuggle it out of the country. During the course of the investigation, Mr. Dieter Alfred did state that the money was found in his possession and he came to Sierra Leone on visit as a tourist. He went to the United Bank of Africa, used his Visa card, and withdrew this said sum, and then 1,500 euros, which he also exchanged into leons, and that he wanted to take the said sum to Germany. At the airport, according to him, he made an inquiry that if it is allowed for him to take the said money, and it was during the process they arrested him. But police are still investigating to know whether what he's saying is really a fact. On Tuesday, 24, that is today, Sergeant 8861 Brown Vande and team attached to Madamaya Police Checkpoint along the Guinea-Sierra Leone Highway arrested one Safi Ali of Jalotaris, Amna Takanu of Jibeawata, Adama Kamara of Ojubu Junction with quantity of drugs suspected to be free healthcare drugs. The quantity as follows: 1,035 boxes of isosonate tablets, 468 packets of ultramate tablets, 30 boxes of isosonate injection, 250 surgical surgery, 180 black bladed silk. The matter is under investigation at Popoloko Regional CID headquarters. That is all I have for the House. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So we now have the chairman to give the submission of the report to the Vice Chair.
I told you about breaking news. On today's date, about 2 p.m., we had to meet one anthem, Mama Jaba, teacher of Metimalai School for the Blind. They reported that at about 1:30 p.m. at the orphanage home, one of their people is the corner, aged 15 years, and himself. He's an SS2 student. The matter is under investigation. The body has been collected. Just for your information. Thank you.
Thank you, Report Freetown West. It's my belief that we all have been taking note of the reports. But I actually want to touch on this unit. And for the members of the Port Estate to really inform members of the public that when they are informed of any shortcut to wealth, it's just a means of extorting money from them. And this QNet, this is not the first time. We continue to inform members of the public that they should avoid them. Prior to QNet, there was wealth builders where Sierra Leoneans actually parted with billions of leones. And Congolese disappeared into a thin air. And so when we, through you, inform them about things that they should not get involved in, we really want them to take seriously. And one such is this QNet. Every now and then we are getting complaints of people involved in QNet, and actually they unfortunately part with huge sums of money, which they will find it difficult to get back. And so we are asking that you please tell members of the public there is no shortcut to wealth. Otherwise, those coming to you to make you become rich just by taking a shortcut would have actually been wealthy people. But these are just measures to deceive them. So please, let them avoid this QNet. This ELSA, it has been a problem which really we are strategizing and will continue to work together. We will ask members of the public to join us as well. Because it has been a case where people will go and remove transformers. Others you will catch, these are people you find them with cables. And all these are just there to keep certain communities in total darkness. So please, this again, we ask members of the public to cooperate with us that any information leading to the arrest of people causing these disasters will be rewarded. We assure them, apart from actually present you to the public, I'm sure to the Sierra Leoneans for them to see that you're a good Sierra Leonean, because those who actually help the police to crack down on criminals are good Sierra Leoneans. And so, please, government is spending a lot. In the past, people were saying, oh, Freetown is the darkest city in the world. And so, provincial towns and cities were not even thinking of having lights. Today, they have lights. But people want them to continue living in blackouts. And so, we can only stop that by members of the public cooperating with the police, giving information that will lead to the arrest of those people. Sexual penetration is a very serious matter. We all are aware of that. The sentence at times can even lead to life imprisonment. So we again ask people to desist from that. The other area of concern is the problem between the cattle rearers and farmers. That actually is an old, very old age problem. We have noticed that when cattle rearers are there, most of them are not able actually to fence properly to keep their cattle in the ranch, and they go and destroy. At times they go to farms
in the neighborhood, and then they raise them to ground level. Well, the reaction of these people have been very violent in the past. And so when the cattle rearers and the farmers, they meet, at times it's very fatal. So it's good that in all these cases we have been asking those who actually want to embark on cattle rearing to ensure that they actually are kept where they will not go and destroy the crops. So we'll still continue, and we'll still continue to inform members of the public that the only way they can avoid having problems with their neighbors who are either farmers or cattle rearers is to ensure that those rearing cattle should really keep them where they should not go and destroy them. The other disheartening aspect is this free quality education textbooks. These are textbooks that are meant for school-going children, so that those from homes who cannot afford to get them will be able to get them through the distribution done by the Ministry of Education. This is because actually government wants people to be educated. That is the only means where a poor man and a rich man's children can sit together as equals when they are both educated. And so that, some of us believe, is the best we can give to our children, while there are people who actually undermine this. So I'm happy that they have been caught and the investigation is going on to face the full force of law. This money is actually, I think, I don't want to wait the journalist to ask you this question, but I think it's 82 million. It's not actually 82,000, it's 82 million. It's the old year. No, it's the old currency. It's which this man wanted to take out, actually out of the country, but the investigation is ongoing. The drugs equally that are there to treat Sierra Leoneans free, people again want to take them out of the country just because they want to get rich, they want to get money. So that is why we are going to conduct that investigation quickly and bring them to book. The mosque at East Station is a troubling area. That the first time I came to know about their problem was when one group wanted to construct additional spaces. The children and the other group, they said no. I mean, if you want additional school, it's necessary that we secure another piece of land where we do construction, because the number they said is there. Those people are actually creating, the children are creating problem because they go through the mosques, they park the water they get for ablution, that one they actually finish it, and so they highlighted a lot of other problems created, and so there was understanding that they should look for another piece of land to do the construction. And recently we are hearing that another group actually wanted to construct mortuary, so this again has triggered this new, round of problem. But the good thing is that the National Security Coordinator, NS Code, actually has summoned both parties, and by his grace, I'm sure he will be able to bring them together so that they will be able to understand each other. You see, if I don't know whether people are saying because they were not allowed to construct more classrooms, that's why they too are insisting that they should not. But actually, they will be able to bring them together, and so we are happy that the matter is now before NS Court. Who then, through public relations head, notify this body in future regarding the outcome of the matter. So I will now pause. As I started, at the close of all the presentations, we expect members of the fourth estate to ask questions. But again, again, I say that your questions really be confined to what we have presented here. So, media one, please.
So, Esther, okay.
People have been charged because I want to know whether the 6 people charged because are members of the clinic or among the 200 guys that went to throw stones or to cause trouble at Clinic Field.
Okay, that one.
Yes, sir. When you get me this guest call, this Cubits members, I want to know because I am reporting for Cubits. Over 600 has been jammed to court, and one of their senior colleagues from Malaysia called and said, "Who is this down there that is reporting bad things about Cubits?" So when you go there, so such a building they are occupied. The police did not have the powers to close that building until the investigation is up. But you go and arrest people and just forget about the building because these are the buildings that they are operating. One at Sakila Road, Wilkins Road, Calbaton, Waterloo, and the rest. Yeah, I'm not saying the one people but not able. Yes, sir. For these books, the last press conference, the driver was arrested, but he just a driver. He was hired by this lady. Is there any notice put out? Warrant of arrest for the lady? These books, quality books, yes.
Noted.
So your question is whether warrant of arrest?
Yes, for the lady especially. That was the guy. They can say down that. Well, no, it's not.
Last week we reported that another arrest was made, but the actual owner fled. It's now asked whether warrant of arrest.
For this ESA, aka security, I don't know, I'm really dumbfounded whether the security guy was arrested with the private people, this ESA, commercial people, or he was hired to take down this ESA.
Is it the one last week?
This ESA people that they spoke just now.
All right. Yes. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm done.
You can pass over the mic.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Silane from Leone. Well, my question goes to Auntie Edna. Well, we are approaching the election now, and we are expecting so many violence. As the head of community, what are you going to do to stop violence?
So your only expectation is violence?
Yes.
Okay.
It's concerning.
All right.
I want to know, I don't know whether you mentioned it, with regards to the 17 depots, when did they come from who did them to the police to get their rights?
Okay.
All right.
Anisha?
Alright, I am Khadija to General Salone, and I report for Sky Radio Africa. I stand to be corrected, but if I can cue from where Tawada has stopped, they said they have been doing this, not the first time QNet have been, they are involved into illegal business. So I want to know if they are operating legally in Sierra Leone, and what is the central bank doing about some of their illegal operations. And secondly, to community department, we are fast going into the 2023 elections, and there is a culture of community policing, liaising with people in some communities, like the youth and other members. Now that we are going into the elections, what plans do you have to see that you have people in communities to act as watchdogs for their communities? And so media one, for the guy that turned into, or allegedly turned into the baboon, how was he, how did the mother got to know that that was the accused? Did he transform again before the murder? Thank you. It's a human being.
That is part of the investigation. In respect of the answer cables, the vehicle was used as a transport. It's a commercial vehicle. Where the vehicle, which is goods, was one of the passengers. But because of the search at the checkpoint, caused the officer to unearth the cables and take him. He purported to be the owner of the cables. He was arrested. He's a security guard at Bobo. So the vehicle was not hired purposely. He entered the vehicle, became as his property.
So you let the people go down now.
The man waited because
yeah, because you don't get
because the only vehicle.
Now you don't get problem anyway.
You don't get that time.
Yes. My response to the question raised by Maria Lauda.
Yes, sir.
Indeed, those charges reports were identified unit operatives. Unit operatives. Because as I told you that they were all arrested together. That they were screened. They screened them and they got among them, most of them were victims. And they turned down to identify their screen, those that collected one fraudulently from them, which was why the child was caught. And further back to that, we have some of the files sent to the director for advice. And that answers your question. Indeed, we have pursuing the investigation. We had a landlord with us, and even the tenant who eventually brought these guys to the house they are about. They are subject of our investigation. I think that is so. Well, for the issue of the Bank of Sierra Leone on the legality of Quinet, which is why we are there. Police are there to arrest and to give that their illegal operations to the law. So whatever Bank of Salone will have to do, I think they have their own mandate. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Larry, you are approaching elections, you are expecting violence, but we are not. That's why we are doing community engagement. Yes, we are constantly engaging our communities, letting them know that violence is not the answer, or conflict is not the answer. So, we are on that in all the divisions. And for Khadija, we engage people. That's why we are not doing this sensitization alone. In our community engagements, we are going along with our local policing partnership board members. These are civilians working along with us. We have our community safety volunteers. These are civilians. And whenever we find ourselves in any communities, if we are at the marketplace, we talk to the cheerleaders, they come and talk to their people. If we are at the back, bike riders, their chairmen, and other executive members, the drivers union, they come along with us, talk to the community people. They cannot leave their business to go along with us because they too have to go out there and fend for their families. But wherever we find ourselves, even in the schools, in the institutions, we look for their executive members or the chairman, president, come and talk to your people. So this is how we engage our people.
Any more?
What do we do to stop violence, as she explained? We are told in this country, and we equally implore members of the Fourth Estate to join us to sensitize the people that violence does not pay, and that they should desist from that. Coming to the vehicles, the government of Sierra Leone gave us those vehicles. This government is demonstrating that they care about security, particularly when we are moving towards general elections. You may be aware that there are competing priorities, but with all the competing priorities, because when the police is fully equipped, that is the time the citizens' safety and security, is guaranteed. And so, that is why it is not only, as I did a presentation the other day, it's not only we are expecting, apart from this one, or in addition to this, we are expecting up to 20 vehicles, including 24, including 5 boats. And this is the first time the government actually is giving us boats. There are areas we use boats to deploy our police officers. There are areas where reports are made for them to be accessed. We have been doing so through the use of private boats. Very risky though. So now there will be boats that the government will be giving us, we call ours. The few we have been using in the past were those donated by the Sierra Leone Embassy, and I can recall when I used to tour around with one Mr. Freeman to visit Banana Water to see the conditions of the boat, whether they require repairs, and then we further solicit for additional boats to be given, where actually we are going to put that behind us. Because there's certain things happening within the country that in fact police officers will be able to police it very well if we have boats actually sailing along the coast. We have a very long coast. There are times when there are demonstrations here, people will tell us that people are actually joining canoes across that end and are coming to Freetown. So if we have boats, we will be able to police that equally. So the vehicles are given by the police. As we are going to the presidential and general elections, we have just concluded needs assessment last week, Tuesday, in Freetown, which means we have now covered the 6 regions. What basically we are doing is to assess the gap, what the police and those that actually will join the police in providing security for the presidential and general election, what actually they require, what they have, the gap, and then we work on how to address the gap. So that we have done. Those who think that they are going to embark on violence, let us tell them, because we are always doing this, that we are prepared for them. The police is prepared for them to ensure that this general election will be free, fair, and violence-free. So we go through you to members of the public to tell them that the best thing you can do, be law-abiding, and then the law will be on your side. But if you want to go against the law, you will face the full force of the law. Thank you.
Last set.
Yes, Freetown West, last week you gave us updates as to how far we've gone with the investigation.
Yes. It wasn't here last week. It wasn't important. But we have been transferred. We went for the exercise. Okay, let me.
Thank you very much. That matter is now in the hands of the discipline department. You are transferred here for the investigation.
Yes. Well. Any other?
Yes, let me just practice.
You tell? Alive?
Why not?
Why
like, no question from you, eh?
No, I just want to at least ask this quick question. Mr. Vance, with regards to this breaking news that we just, just now, with regards to this victim guy, suicide, of course, I want to see how best, of course, the community relations should be making good use, community policy why to these kids. Because we don't know why. Because to the white man means a lot for somebody to investigation. That's the investigation. Of course. Then of course the second question is going to be with regards to the shotguns. Of course, like I said, we are fast approaching the elections. So I want to see how best, of course, the Salone police will be working hand in love with the small arms, office, and see how best why they'll be sensitizing people, as to whether or not to maybe these guns, their guns are lighting, why they are qualified, hunters. So we'll see how best, because we don't want to see a situation where you don't see anybody holding on to shotguns. So I just want to see, don't just want to raise kind of concern. So at least the SLP and the small arms will be working on the glove to see how best we can, salvage some of these issues. Salome alaikum in Jesus' name.
In respect of the boy who took his life, those are some of the questions we'll be asking. We want to know what led to that incident. Because he's obviously lost his sight. How come he has to manipulate to get onto that height, hang himself, and then died? So there are several questions that we ask. That's why we are investigating the cause that led to the death.
Thank you very much. Well, the investigation will help us to meet the general public, for them to be informed about what has happened and what we have been able to gather so as to prevent recurrence. We have been always working with small arms. When we are investigating and then we discover a firearm, the first thing we want to know if it's marked. If it's marked, we send it to them. They will be able to tell us exactly. If it's rifle, they will be able to tell us whether that rifle belongs to the Israeli police or the military. And if they identify, for example, say Israeli police, then that mark will be able to tell us the particular location and who was in possession, because whosoever is giving firearm signs for it. We are making it known to the general public that if you want a firearm, you can have it. But what we always make it clear to them is that there is a due process to follow. We very much care about our personnel, and the last experience is a bitter pill to swallow. And so that is why we ensure that guns are licensed. The individuals go through the process to see that they are mentally balanced to process that. That is because if a gun is shot somewhere, we want to know whether by the address given to firearm, people are staying there who actually have that. And so one way we'll be able to do that is to encourage members of the public to license their firearms. Those who fall short of that, they face the law. But we will not relent in actually telling them that you need to license your firearm. The other area we really have to go further, when in the past people of country used to manufacture the locally manufactured guns. That when we notice that and the individuals are identified, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to handle that equally. But that will pose a big challenge. I remember when we went to Togo on firearm, and that was the problem. They presented that between Togo and Ghana, there was a man who was actually preparing, who was manufacturing firearms. These locally made firearms, and so that is actually out of the normal chain. And so that was posing a problem. So if we are asking members of the fourth estate through you, the general public, that if they are aware of such individuals, let them inform us. Because if we have firearms that are not licensed, when problems happen like death, it's difficult to locate because they are not in the database of small arms. And let me also to inform you also that the small arms actually was entirely concentrated here. But the last time we went, it's about 2 weeks or so, we went to McKinney. Yes, they have actually their office there now. They are expanding, they are extending up country, so that will make it easier for those in the provinces to have their firearms license. But we'll still continue to talk to them.
Okay, thanks. I think that's
So I think this is where we have to be cutting down. We want to say many thanks to the chairperson, the ever-willing director of operations.
Police training, please don't forget. That's what I meant.